I want to present my views today. First of all, I would start by congratulating the Kenyans who came out in massive numbers to fight for their rights, which is engulfed and enshrined in our constitution, that ought to have been protected fully by our MPs whom we voted, we entrusted in, and we sent to represent us in the parliament, which eventually failed, making and fueling Kenyans to march out in large numbers to fight for their rights. That was a clear indication, a clear portrait, a clear view, and indication that the MPs had failed in the roles that were mandated fully and they were charged with. They ought not to have left the country to reach wherever it reached. It portrayed a very bad picture to the whole world. If the whole world were today standing out to watch Kenyan government and arm of government having been attacked, that was a clear show that the government had totally failed. Secondly, I want to blame the president for having failed to give a right direction to the nation. As a commander-in-chief, you ought to have known what is wrong for your people, because as the head of state, you are mandated to ensure that the country is governed towards the right direction. I also want to blame our Speaker of the House, that is Wetangula, having failed to guide the House towards what is right for this nation. And I want to say that the president, having came out to congratulate the officers to kill the innocent Kenyans who are only demonstrating to ensure that their rights are reserved, you ought not to have congratulated the police officers. You ought to have come out to give us the solution. I want to tell you that these are the hustlers, these are the boda-bodas, these are the mamambogas whom you ended up promising fake promises that you never fulfilled. You gave us pledges that you never lived up to. And it was quite sarcastic. It was quite absurd yesterday. If you could call a nation that was marching to protect their rights, you were calling us yesterday that we are criminals. You are the people who had failed, and now you are calling hustlers, you are calling demonstrators that they are criminals. We want to tell you, William Ruto, we are not criminals, but rather we are citizens of our nation. We are not criminals. You have failed with the power that Kenyans entrusted you with. I want to say that democracy that was fought for by the Mau Mau fighters, democracy that has always been fought by the freedom fighters, we are not going to keep quiet as we watch you making that democracy dirty. And we want to assure you that the stage at which Kenyans have reached, you can never take us back in a stature where we are in a democratic country, where you think that you can wake up and do anything that you feel right for you and your few guys. MPs, ensure that you do whatever took you there is to defend and represent the people. We cannot have a nation where an MP represents a president, where an MP represents their feelings and their interests. Your mandate is to fight and defend the rights of the people. That is why you are called a member of parliament who is a representative of a voter. But as long as you are going to fail, we are always going to come out to ensure that when you fail as the MPs, we are not going to fail as the citizens. Thank you. Yes. What I feel that is not right with me in the finance bill is the bill that is talking about the land. When you want us to go the leasing way, we want to have a right mandate of owning the land fully without leasing. If somebody has fought to buy land for the sake of ensuring inheritance for the coming generation, then you want me to be in a land that has only been leased. Secondly, you cannot introduce a taxation that seeks to tax my ancestral land. So that is, I feel it is not well with me. And the situation to which Kenya is not right to overtax a nation. That is why we censor this motion as a people, that bill should be rejected completely, because we are in a state of economic sodomy. We are not going to allow you to sodomize our economy, to overburden us, to enslave us, and to impoverish us under our watch. You are not going to do that. Yes.
Some youths tried their way to get into the parliament, and some people are saying that was not good. That was like taking Kenya back in terms of losses. So what do you think about that?
When the youth had gained access into the parliament, before we blame that revolution, we must ask ourselves, who failed in the first place? MPs. It is the MPs who failed. So before we delve our blames to the revolution, we are going to channel our blames purely on the representation that we send into the parliament. So they are to be blamed squarely and completely. We are not going to blame those people, even though it portrayed a bad picture, an arm of the government put under attack. That was a symbol of a weak government. Yes. As Kenyans, we ought to have understood a clear role of a CS. Who is a CS? It's the work of a CS to give orders for a nation to be attacked by an arm that seeks and should be charged by defending the country. The major role of a the KDF, Kenya Defense Force, they are supposed to defend their nation from attack. They are not supposed to come and fight a nation. They should offer a defense. So that is a very useless CS. You ought to have not given mandate for the KDF to come and attack and fight a people. Why should we have a KDF? Why couldn't we call for a reconciliatory talk? Why couldn't we call for amicable solution to be applied against this hectic situation that Kenyans are finding themselves into? Thank you.